Hey everybody, welcome into the Delmarva Sports Insider, your #1 live and local show dedicated to giving you all local sports all the time. I'm Sports Director Brandon Bosser.
What is up? It is yours truly, sports anchor Devin J. Martin. Welcome into the show, Brandon. As always, we got a lot to talk about tonight.
A lot more than normal tonight. I cannot believe it. The final week of the regular season is here, at least for the Bayside. Couple more weeks in the Henlopen, but playoffs right around the corner.
That is insane. It feels like we just started getting out on the gridiron, and just like that, it's already over in the regular season. It's already done. I mean, it just one blink, and we're already talking about playoffs.
Yeah, and you know what? We are going to start the show with a huge game out there in Stevensville.
That's right,
Everybody's
Brandon.
been looking forward to this game.
Absolutely, everyone has been. It was Kent Island closing out their regular season against Queen Anne's, the battle of the two top running backs in the state, KJ Smothers versus Casey Heath, and this game did not disappoint at all.
Absolutely not. Kent Island looking to get out in front first. This play going to be a handoff to Keegan O'Brien, scrambling to the outside, goes down the sidelines, and dives in for the end zone. Kent Island up 7-0 early on. They draw first blood, but Queen Anne's would bite right back. Hand it off to their powerhouse, KJ Smothers. Blows through the defense, and he goes all the way. Lions tie things up at 7, and that would be the score going into half. Lions starting off strong in the second half. Huge play here. Hand it off to Smothers, and he does the rest. Going to torch the Bucks defense. 67 yards all the way for the score. Queen Anne's with a statement on the opening drive of the third. But one man on Kent Island would change this thing, and that was Casey Heath. Gets the handoff, the stiff arm into the end zone for the tie, 14-14. Let me tell you, Casey just getting started as he would have a legendary second half.
And Bucks in the red zone in the next possession. Heath gets the ball again, and he bulldozes his way in for the 21-14 lead. He's absolutely fired up, and KI wants you to know that Casey Heath is that guy. Keith would finish the game with 5 rushing touchdowns. You heard that right. And on this touchdown, he's pointing to the Decatur Seahawks. Watch this. Look at that. Back when the Decatur was in the back watching, and Heath wants them to know that they're on his radar.
I love that. He's saying, we want you.
Yep, absolutely. And this game started as a defensive battle between these two teams, but KI came out in the second half with huge adjustments and would lock down KJ Smothers. The Bucks close out their regular season with a statement win over a strong Lions team, 42-14. We spoke with the man of the hour after the game and asked him about his huge performance tonight.
Definitely a slow game in the first half. You know, I'm grateful for our sideline, our technology nowadays, because we could see what was going on, you know, what the O-line was doing, what we were doing wrong, and we could really see, like, what was our problem. And I think after half, we really fixed that, and we really took control of the O-line of scrimmage. You know, big thanks to my O-line. Like I said, I love them. I love them to death. And I'm just grateful for him.
Insane. What a game he had tonight.
Absolutely. Casey Heath, he is the man. That's pretty much all there is to say from this game. What changed in the second half? Because we saw Cole was tweeting out the entire night.
Yep.
Queen Anne's, Kent Island, tied at 7, going into halftime. Okay, right. Defensive battle. Come out, first play of the second half. Give it to KJ. He goes 67 yards. What happens? They start giving the ball to Casey Heath, which Cole said they only gave the ball to Heath about 3 times in the first half. And Queen Anne's just was not ready for him to be given the ball that many times in the second half.
I think they wanted to unleash their weapon in the second half.
Yeah,
kind of feel them out, feel the Lions defense out, and then kind of spring that on them in the second half of the game.
I think that's exactly what happened. They didn't want to show the Lions what they had in the arsenal in the first half. They come out in the second half. Queen Anne's can't make those adjustments like they could have if they saw it in the first half.
Yep.
And they just absolutely dominated Queen Anne's in that second half. And the thing about Queen Anne's is they've been phenomenal all year. Huge offensive line, the best running back in the Bayside potentially. You can make that case. But Kent Island showed tonight that Queen Anne's needs to be more balanced on offense. They're going to play with the powerhouses.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, and I think, as you mentioned, I think the Bucks said, you know, we have a silver bullet, but we're going to use that in the second half, and I think it worked out well for them. Obviously, now Kent Island, they have been on a tear. This impressive win closes out the regular season. That's 8 wins in a row after their first loss to Easton. Kent Island has not lost, and a lot of that has to do with the dominance of Casey Heath. A lot of that has to do with the coaching. A lot of that has to do with the defense. I think the Bucks are just so well-rounded on both sides of the ball because they did hold Queen Anne's to 14 points tonight.
Yeah, we got to move on now to a game down in Salisbury tonight. You may have thought Y-High would roll over Bennett easily on the final night of the season, right?
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Well, not so fast, folks. Bennett up 13-7 when we pick things up. That's when Y-High flipped the script. Handoff goes to Makai Johnson, gets into the open field, finally brought down at the 10-yard line. A few plays later, give it to Johnson. He's got unfinished business. Stand-up touchdown for him. Tribe would grab the lead on that play. Darius Foreman not running much tonight, but when he did, he was lethal. Gets to the edge, and there he goes down the sideline. Foreman gets Y-High into the red zone once again. They're going to keep it on the ground for Chris Wells. Going to go to the well here. Another touchdown to close out the first half. And there he goes. He points to all you folks at home. Tribe take this one, doubling up Bennett 40-20. Y-High finishes 6-3 on the season.
Now we head to Berlin with Decatur and Snow Hill. All Decatur the entire game. Seahawks were up 7-0 early. And the ball right here is going to be on the ground. And Xavier Manuel with the scoop and score. No one will catch him. A 90-yard touchdown recovery for the Decatur defense. That puts them up 2 scores on Snow Hill. Decatur fans, we have a bunch of Decatur highlights for you. Bryson Coleman has stepped up this season, asked to be quarterback for his team, and he's going to scramble and find Jamian Purnell, and that's another score. Now, the man that stood out for the Seahawks was Caden Shockley. Caden Shockley was explosive last night. He's going to get the rock and fire it right up the middle and give the Seahawks yet another touchdown. Watch this. Just like that, right up the middle. No one's going to touch him, and he has a touchdown, and he's not finished. How about the hat trick? The handoff again, and he's going to go right up the middle. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. And he's going to go into the end zone for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. Decatur sent their fans home happy last night as they pick up the win in their final regular season game, 49-6.
All right, down at County Stadium last night, Parkside hosting Kent County, and Parkside up 20 when we picked things up. Defense came to play. Brad Muller with the big hit to knock that ball loose, but the Trojans would fall on it. Kent brings the punt unit out, and they would catch a break on this return. Ball dropped at the 5-yard line, scooped up by the Trojans. That was a big break for Kent County, looking to get back in this one. Kent unable to get the ball into the end zone, though. Parkside holds on an incredible goal line stand to finish off the first half, and the Rams head into the locker room with the shutout intact. Now, Luke Massiarello can sling it a little bit. Down the sidelines, finds freshman Tavion Deschelle. I'm told that he's going to be a player to watch out for in the coming years. Called up from JV for this one. Parkside gives up some ground the second half. They go on to win 41-22 and finish 3-6.
And now we have some other games from the Bayside that happened tonight. North Carolina beats Colonel Richardson 14-7, and Easton destroys Cambridge 42-6. Another team that has been great this year, the Easton Warriors.
All right, and now let's go over the Bayside final standings a little bit. Up north, Easton going 5-0 in the Bayside North, and they finished 7-2 overall. Great season by the Warriors, by the way. Kent Island going 8-1. 4-1 in the Bayside North. Queen Anne's with 2 losses in the North. Colonel Richardson 2 losses in the North. Those 2 teams finishing above 500. Down south, we have Decatur going 4-0 in the Bayside South, 7-2 overall. Y-High 3-1, 6-3 overall. So, Devin, I want to go over with you. We've been doing our power rankings all season long. Why not, put it out there on live TV tonight? Final game of the regular season. Who are your top 5 teams in order in the Bayside
Now,
this year?
this was really hard. There's no way to really – I don't think there's a team that, had really stood out above the rest for a lot of times in the year. But then towards the end of the season, these 2 teams kind of stood out for me. It was definitely Kent Island number 1. I think they proved it tonight that they're just
They sure did.
They proved
I
it
don't know
tonight
how
that
you
they're
can
number
put
1.
anyone above Kent
Right.
Island.
And because coming into this game, I had Queen Anne's. But Easton is a team that beat Queen Anne's, beat Kent Island. The only teams they lost to was Decatur and Y-High. So I have Easton number 2, Queen Anne's number 3, and then I have Decatur, then Y-High. I think Y-High would be a lot better and a lot higher up if they didn't have some of the injuries that they faced. But that's a part of the game, and so because of the teams that they lost to and the amount of losses they have, I have Y-High at number 5 right now.
Well, I'm going to go with the top 5 from last week, or this Wednesday. Kent Island, Queen Anne's 2, Decatur 3, Y-High 4, Easton 5. Look, I love Easton this year. They did a fantastic job turning things around, going 7-2, 5-0 in the Bayside
Right.
North.
Including wins over Kent Island, Queen Anne's, and
they're the only team that beat Kent Island, but I have them 5th, and it's because that Y High game really stood out in my mind, and I just think
they get blown out.
If that Kent Island game was at the end of the year instead of the beginning of the year, I think that game is totally different. Not a 3-touchdown difference,
right?
But Kent Island proved that they are head and shoulders above everyone else this year. Hats off to the Bucks. All right, we're getting wrapped up right now. We got to go to commercial break. That concludes a fun regular season in the Bayside. Follow along with us for playoff matchups next week, but don't go anywhere because we're taking our talents up to the 302 when the Delmarva Sports Insider returns.
Hey, I'm Luke Morgott with Stephen Cater Football, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.